So hi there guys and welcome back to Boat McRill. This week is gonna be surrounding about two things. First of all, I'm gonna keep on working in here in the boat. There's a little bit of sanding in here that needs to be done. Preparing for some paint that's gonna come up in the bilge. Also going to keep on working with this. That's the template for the new electrical cabinet that's gonna be in the head. But as you've seen in the little bit of an intro, this week has been more or less snow, 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 and even more snow. And with that also a bit of cold weather. So I've just checked the things I did last week. If you didn't see that episode, please head up here and in the corner here somewhere, there's a link to last week's video. Check out what I did then. And here it is the result. Yep, these guys are finally in there. Yeah, they're gonna be the new support for the upcoming cabin sole that you've seen me worked on for a while. The work can just be standing here, so just head on first, start doing some sanding in here, and then we head back up to the workshop and start working with the electrical cabinet. So well then guys, we're back up in the workshop again, and as I showed you earlier, this is the old template that I did for the new electrical cabinet that I set up for, it's a little bit more than a year now. It is kinda bad shape, so and I think it has swollen a bit because it wasn't this big when I was templing this out a year ago. But it's been sitting outside, unfortunately, so what I have to do is I'm gonna scrub this off to a new piece of this material, and then just fast test it out so that it fits in the boat, and then start working on the real part for it. Doesn't really matter, but it's gonna sit like this in the head. I'm probably gonna have to cut off a little bit on this edge. This is following in the shape of the inside of the boat. So another little thing I've also started working with is the new area where you have the steering wheel and the instruments and stuff like that. This is the old one. It's in pretty bad condition, as you can see. There is probably not much I can do to fix it up. So what I'm gonna do is some kind of a new one. I believe this is 2 layers of mahogany or something similar plywood that they glue together or epoxy together. And what we are gonna do here is something similar, but with another plywood, not mahogany. A couple of weeks ago, I sent out a question to you about what you any idea about what to coat this with: paint, fiberglass, gel coat, carbon fiber, or anything cool like that. Unfortunately, I didn't get any answers, but I believe that an idea that popped up in my head, and that's the carbon fiber. It doesn't need much, and I think it would be kind of cool to have a carbon fiber pilot area here and have all the instruments put in that. So therefore I'm gonna make up 2 pieces of the plywood and glue them together with some epoxy, and then actually just round off the corner, coat the top of it with carbon fiber and just regular polyester resin. The best would actually be to do it with some kind of vacuum, but I don't have the gear for it, so it's gonna have to be hand laid. It's probably not gonna be exactly as nice as it could have been if I had vacuum it, but yeah, I believe it's gonna be pretty good anyway, so I hope for the best. If anyone out there have some vacuum equipment in my area for this kind of work, send me a text and I will pick it up and do a first try on video with it. So then, next step I'm gonna do right now is just to mix up a little bit batch of epoxy and mix that with some fumed silica. As usual, it's Nils Malmgren epoxy, and I get that from Epoxy Online. Go check the link down below to find out where you can get that. Since it's kind of cold in here, I'm gonna have to have a heating fan. But before I start to mix up the epoxy, I'm gonna just wipe these guys off with some anti-greaser here. Since this was kinda cold, it was actually pretty, I mean, look at this. It's like tar. I'm gonna put this in front of the heater for a little while. Out of the camera, I was up at the boat. I took out the measurements and I'm gonna cut this off by centimeters, or by 1 centimeter. This is gonna be a centimeter shorter than it was originally. I believe I might have been I might have been a little bit too close to the sliding door into the head. And when I'm mixing this into the epoxy, I'm always using the mask because this is kind of easy to just stir around in the air, and it's pretty bad to inhale this because it sits and stays in your lungs.
As you see right now, it's much more fluid there.
So I don't know, I'm gonna let that sit for 24 hours or something like that. Come back in, just round the corners, and make sure to prepare it for some carbon fiber later on. So that first piece of that is done. Also gonna come in here tomorrow and start working on the electrical cabinet again.